1230 WJOB, and available across the World Wide Web on JED TV, Region Sports, and the Oilmen Facebook page. It's the Northwest Indiana Oilmen up against Victory. Glad to be joined by Adam Oppenheim. Adam, it's a rematch of the Collegiate League Championship Series, but these two teams are both struggling a bit and trying to find themselves here this evening.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see for the Generals. They've really been off and on the entire season. And the key for them is walking fewer batters.
It's an Oilman team that lost back-to-back games now to the Southland Vikings, and the team's been a little bit streaky of late. They were on a winning streak. Now they've lost 2 in a row, and it's an important game with still 3 more to go on the homestand counting tonight to try to turn out in terms of momentum.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see because the Generals also had a couple-game winning streak, and it came to a close. And it will be interesting to see which of these teams gets on track first and can carry that momentum into hopefully making the playoffs this year.
And for the Generals, one key has been getting consistent control for pitching staff, as that's been a challenge for them a bit so far this season.
Yeah, certainly. And Evan Ryan pitching tonight, who pitched in the doubleheader against the Oilmen last week. He allowed 9 walks in his few innings that he worked, and it will be another key for them tonight to try to get a win against the Oilmen. It's interesting because both these teams, they've won on each other's home fields every single game so far this season.
Yeah, the series has been dominated by the road team to this point. The Oilmen trying to find a way to defend their home field here tonight. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, our pregame show continues next. I'll have the lineups for you, and we'll continue to set the scene as we get you ready for the Oilmen and the Generals in just a little while. More pregame after this on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
It's just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well-mouthed desert, meet ice-cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. That's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home. The ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track. Help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
When you hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me hear Lando Frost, premium meat, delicious, and no byproducts.
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Lando Frost Premium Meat.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
Back at Oil City Stadium, the lineup card exchange has started to take place. The ground rules are being discussed. It's Generals manager Joe Silva delivering the lineup card to home plate. And shortly, Adam Enright will do the duties for Northwest Indiana. That means it's time for me to give you those lineups for tonight's game, starting with the visitors from Joliet. Leading off and playing shortstop, Diego Munoz. Batting second and starting behind the plate, Dino Biggers. Batting third is designated hitter Bryce Vincent. Vincent hitting third. Batting cleanup is center fielder C.J. Terrones. Terrones hits cleanup in center. Batting fifth is right fielder Brady Small. Hitting sixth at first base, Aaron Vertuno. Vertuno hitting sixth. Batting seventh for Joliet is second baseman Christian Jacob. And hitting eighth is left fielder Tom Stote. Stote hitting eighth in left. And rounding out the 1 through 9 for the Generals is third baseman Georgie Vasquez. All that in back of Joliet right-hander Evan Ryan. It's Ryan going for the Generals. Now here's the Oilmen starting lineup that the righty will be opposing. Leading off him playing center field, Kyle Radcliffe. Batting second and getting the start at second base, David Marshall. Marshall hitting and playing second. Batting third is designated hitter Jason Hodges. The cleanup hitter is shortstop Jack Zebig. Zebig hitting cleanup. Batting fifth and playing left field, Chaz Clark. Batting sixth is first baseman Kyle Zarnacki. Zarnacki hitting sixth. Batting seventh and playing right field, Dom Curcio. Hitting eighth and starting behind the plate, Sebastian Cabeza. And rounding out the 1 through 9 for the Oilmen is third baseman Tyler Famakanen. All that in back of Northwest Indiana right-hander C.J. Burdak. It's Burdak going for the Oilmen and Ryan for the Generals. The Oilmen are being introduced and taking the field defensively. They're doing so wearing their black uniforms with gold numbers on their backs. They've got the gold Oilman lettering across the front of the chest, the black caps, and the gold Oilman logo on the front of the cap. They have the white pants for the Oilmen as well. The Generals are wearing green uniforms with gold numbers on their backs. They've got the white General G on the front of the chest, the green cap, and the white General logo on the front of that cap. The umpires are all set to work today's game. It'll be Mike Slawinski calling balls and strikes, and Ryan Verver will make the decisions on the base paths. It's time to honor America as the playing of the anthem is set to occur, and let's join the live playing of tonight's national anthem.
We honor America with the singing of our national anthem.
There you have the playing of tonight's national anthem. Well, it's Burdak against Ryan. It's the Oilmen against the Generals. And it's next on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
I am a success.
I am the future.
I am.
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 I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted and bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost premium meat.
Back here at Oil City Stadium as we get you set for baseball. Oilmen and the Joliet Generals are all set to get going here in just a few minutes as the throw goes down to second base. In fact, just a few seconds before we'll have this game underway. Let's give you the game time temperature. It is a beautiful 75 degrees and sunny here in Whiting. You could not ask for a better night for a game. We have been so spoiled this summer with just beautiful nights at the ballpark, and we're happy to have you along. There's still room for you. If you're in the area, come on down. You can join us in person. If not, we're happy to have you tuning in wherever you may be across the Oilmen Broadcasting Network. The first pitch is going to come right at 7:10. It comes from Oilman righty C.J. Burdak, and it's swung on and lifted in the air, popped up on the infield in foul territory. Zarnacki, the first baseman, is underneath it, and battling the sun, he makes the catch. One pitch and one away, Adam, here in the opening inning.
It'll be interesting to see, the start the Generals get off to, as both the games, the first time they played, they scored 6 in the first 2, and the second time they scored 4 all in the first inning. And if this team can consistently get runs throughout the game, that would certainly help their case, because neither one of these teams is going to go away quietly.
Burdak delivers his second pitch of the game. This one swung on and popped up as well, also in foul territory. Over is Famacanon near third, and battling the sun, he's able to make the catch. 2 pitches and 2 down as a pair of Generals pop up in foul territory. This one goes FF5 for the second out of the first inning. An interesting start to the game.
And C.J. Burdak has really been good in relief. The Stars have struggled a bit, but he's gone 9 1/3 against the Generals, only allowing 2 earned runs. He's been really good against this Generals lineup.
Vincent looks at a strike in the count 0-1. He has been outstanding throughout the season in general. A glittering 135 earned run average, his only decision to win. Here comes the 0-1, low for a ball, blocked by Cabeza, and the count evens out at 1 ball and 1 strike. This is his fourth game and second start of the season. He has logged 13 1/3 innings, striking out 10 against 8 walks. Here's a grounder foul, wide of the third base bag, where Joe Silva, the manager of the Generals, is positioned, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the next offering. This is cued in the air along the first base line, and it's going to be caught by the right fielder in fair territory. Curcio ranges over and makes the catch. So 3 shallow pop flies, and that's the extent of the opening inning for the Generals. As they go 1-2-3. We've played a half. It's Joliet nothing, and the Oilmen coming to bat on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Go to the office. We build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an ironworker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
Coming up on July the 22nd, it is Police and Fire Appreciation Night here at Oil City Stadium, and it is sponsored by the Northwest Indiana Building and Trades Council. We are proud to have Police and Fire Night coming back to Oil City Stadium this season, and BP Whiting also a part of presenting that night coming up on the 22nd of July. So we look forward to the return of Police and Fire Night. It is always a nice night to honor our local heroes. We'll tell you more about a big event coming up this Friday, but mark your calendars on July the 22nd. It is Police and Fire Appreciation Night right here at Oil City Stadium. As we take it to the last of the first inning, Kyle Radcliffe is going to make his Oilman debut and bat for the first time right here. So Radcliffe standing in, he swings the stick left-handed, and he will oppose Ryan, the starter for the Joliet Generals. Ryan set at the belt. The first pitch of his day is waved at and missed in the count 0-1. Adam, what can you tell us about Evan Ryan?
He was good throughout his first 3 appearances, 7 1/3, and allowed just 5 walks. But in the game against the Oilmen last week, 4 innings pitched and 9 walks. So something he's looking to improve on. And before that, it really wasn't that big of an issue. So we'll see if he can bounce back today. That was the last time he pitched 1 week ago today.
Yeah, the Oilmen are going to have some patience, having walked 9 times in just 4 innings against him. He managed to give up just 4 runs despite the 9 walks. While allowing 4 hits, he struck out 2. This is swung on and popped up on the infield. A lot of infield pop-ups so far in the ballgame. Munoz battling the sun. He's underneath it, and the general shortstop collects this one for out number 1. And David Marshall will stand in next.
I think the Generals are very happy to not have Chris Baker in the lineup, who's really been the Generals' killer this year, was 4 for 4 in that game of the doubleheader, and has just been a Generals' killer throughout this whole season.
Yeah, he's actually been a killer, I think, Adam, of a lot of opponents so far this season, as the first pitch here is taken low and in for a ball, but it does seem like some of the big days have come against the Generals. And he is, as Leo and I talked about on the game on Monday, he is currently in Utah and has a tryout with a professional club. So that's where he is for a few days. Here's a bouncing ball toward first. This is scooped up by Vertuno. He takes it to the bag unassisted, and that is out number 2. Quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the opening frame.
Yeah, and this was as quick as you can imagine the first inning going for both these teams, who have been really hot, especially early in the games.
2 outs and the base is clear. Hodges standing up to the plate next against Ryan, who, again, for the season, 1-0 record, 476 earned run average. This is his 5th game and 3rd start, 11 in the 3rd innings, 6 strikeouts and 14 walks, with 9 of the 14 walks coming against the Oilmen on the 22nd of June. Here's a line drive base hit to left, a 2-out single off the bat of Hodges. It's the first Oilman hit of the day, and it comes with 2 down in the opening inning.
And this is something for Joe Silva. You can't be too worried about. Evan Ryan obviously wants that location, that isn't super hittable, but when you walk 9 in the last game, you like to see him get his confidence up a little bit, and you get 2 quick outs, and then you allow a base runner. You still leave yourself, room to work out of the inning.
Yeah, you'll take that. If you can give up a 2-out single, and if you throw strikes, there'll be some hits against you. But the key in this league oftentimes is throwing strikes. Here's a ball that's sent to left center, a run for the center fielder. He dives and can't make the catch. This is a base hit, and holding at first base, the big turn around first is Zebig. Going first to third on the play, Hodges. Toronis, the center fielder, laid out for it. Stote ended up picking it up and chucking it in. It goes as the second straight hit, and there are Oilmen at first and third with 2 down.
This reminded of the first time these teams played at Oil City Stadium this year. C.J. Torones dove for a ball in right field, and it got by him. That time, he was able to keep it in front of him, because any time you come that much in and dive and it goes past you, that's extra bases, certainly.
Runners at first and third, 2 down. Chaz Clark standing in next. This is taken low and in for a ball. Oilman Brain Trust inserting Clark into the 5 spot in the batting order today, and he comes up here in a big spot with runners at first and third and 2 down. Let's see if he can come through and get the Oilmen on the board first in this opening inning. Here's the 1-0. This is taken off the plate away, as relayed to us by Mike Slawinski, the home plate umpire, and the count is 2-0.
These are the times, if you're Ryan, you're looking to just get out of an early jam so you can get back to that bases empty situation.
Here's a ground ball base hit right field, and a run is in. Oilmen lead 1-0 as the runners will be at first and second after Clark wraps a single through the right side of the infield. The Oilmen, with 3 straight singles, have kind of the old-fashioned way produced a run with 2 outs in this opening inning.
And 3 really solid pieces of contact by the Oilmen. And a good start for them offensively after Ryan got 2 quick outs. And a good battle back by Chaz Clark, or rather, battle up, as he was up 2-0 in the count and then got a pitch to hit and slapped into right field.
Now it's Zarnacki. First pitch is taken low. This skips away, wild pitch, and the runners will move up to second and third. The throw goes to second base, and safe there is Clark. Aggressive play by Biggers to throw down to second, holding at third, Zebe.
Could have been a disastrous play there if that got over Christian Jacobs' head, and we've seen that quite a few times with this Generals team. Not just, fielding errors, more like overthrows, which is something you want to eliminate.
1-0 here is a shallow fly ball. The left is going to get down for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here's Clark around third. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Kyle Zarnacki, and the Oilmen have jumped out to the early lead. They lead Joliet 3-0.
Not sure if Tom Stote lost that, and the Sunner was trying to fool the base runners, but that ball fell right in front of him, and the Oilmen are making good contact on all these pitches inside the zone of Ryan, and you have to think they were ready to swing after getting walked quite a few times by him last Wednesday.
Curcio standing in, runner at first. Here's the first pitch to him, taken high for a ball on the count 1-0. The Oilmen with a string of 4 consecutive singles, and that's produced 3 runs here in this inning. A big wild pitch, by the way, helped move the runners, especially the second runner, Clark, into scoring position there. Runner goes, pitch taken high for a ball, throw to second is going to be not in time. It's a stolen base. Zarnacki swipes second, and now a base hit could keep the train moving here and make it a 4-run game. You talked about the sun, Adam. Leo and I have talked about it many times. Left field is a very difficult sun field at this hour. Sun playing tricks on the left fielder Stute. Here's a pitch low for a ball. Trying to move up to third and doing so safely is Zarnacki. It's the second wild pitch of the inning as this one bounces away from Biggers, and now 90 feet away is Zarnacki.
Yeah, and these are the little things when you're talking about, an early inning, putting up 3 on the board already, that you want to try to get rid of as much as you can. So although a wild pitch isn't scored as an error, it advances the runners and really could open up a bigger inning.
Here's the 2-0. Taken for a strike, and the count 2-1 on Curcio.
And we've seen this quite a bit with Generals here as they've fallen behind batters and then are forced to throw a pitch that's very hittable. That's what's happened in the last couple of at-bats.
3-1 on Curcio now. Here comes the 3-1 swing and a miss, and it goes full at 3-2.
And this would be a big out if Ryan can get Curcio here to limit the damage and give your offense a chance to get those bats back up.
Payoff pitch was swung on and lifted foul off to the left and out of play, and it remains 3-2. Adam?
Yeah, and with a guy like C.J. Burdak pitching, who's been so good this year against the Generals, especially in those 2 appearances, you might not have, a huge run-scoring day. Therefore, your pitching and defense is going to have to do a lot of work.
4 straight singles for the Oilmen right now in this inning. Here's the payoff pitch. It's taken high for ball 4. Well, we talked about Ryan has had some control problems, but he's been throwing strikes for the most part in this inning, although the wild pitches have actually hurt him more than walking guys. That's the first walk of the inning. 4 hits and 3 runs in, and now runners at first and third with 2 down for Cabeza.
Yeah, and with a lot of Generals pitchers, they've gone a couple quick outs, but once they get a runner on, it seems like they're a bit different on the mound. And although you're going into the stretch, it shouldn't be that much different with, throwing strikes and using your best pitches to get batters out.
Cabeza takes ball 1. Ryan actually also pitched against the Oilmen here at Oil City Stadium back on the 10th of June. He got the win, going 2 innings of shutout ball, striking out 1 and walking 2. This is his 3rd outing against the Oilmen this season. 1-0 way high and outside. Trying to come toward the plate is Zarnacki, and late to cover is Ryan, and a run scores. Oilmen add to the lead. It's 4-0 in favor of the Oilmen as Zarnacki comes in and scores on a wild pitch. It's the 3rd wild pitch of this inning. Curcio to second as well, and it's now a 4-0 ball game.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few wild pitches, but that's an example of, Evan Ryan getting in his head a little bit because he threw that ball way wide. And there could have been a play at the plate, but he didn't quite get off the mound in time. And another run comes across for Northwest Indiana.
Here's the 2-0. This is taken for a strike, and the count 2-1.
And we've seen it with these last few batters. It's been 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. And you put yourself in a spot where you're forced to throw a fastball in one particular spot, and the hitter knows that.
Here's the 2-1 taken high for ball 3. We go to 3-1.
And really, Ryan controlled the first couple of at-bats, but since then, the Oilmen hitters have been waiting for their pitch to hit. That's what's led to so many good pieces of wood.
3 balls and a strike. The count on Cabeza. The runner at second is Curcio. Here's the 3-1. Taken for strike 2 call. Now we go full at 3-2. It's been a laborious first inning for Evan Ryan. He got the first 2 outs in succinct fashion as Radcliffe popped up to short and Marshall grounded out. Here's the 3-1, 3-2. It's swung on and lifted in the air. This is a routine fly ball for Taronis. The center fielder camps underneath it. He gloves it, and the inning ends. But not before damage done. As the Oilmen score 4 times, they do it on 4 hits and 1 left. We've played 1. Oilmen 4, Generals nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well-mouthed desert, meet ice-cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. Let's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home. The ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track. Help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
Back here at Oil City Stadium as we look ahead to Friday night, it is Military Appreciation Night right here at Oil City Stadium. Please get your tickets now on NWIOilmen.com as the Oilmen partner with Indiana Fallen Heroes to bring you Military Appreciation Night. I've been a part of these for a number of years now. It's always a great night of honoring those who have served. Indiana Fallen Heroes will be here to recognize those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. And it'll be a 7-10 game between the Oilmen and the Corn Dogs coming up on Friday night. It is sponsored by Northwest Indiana Building and Construction Trades Council under the leadership of President Ron Ware Jr. We hope you join us on Friday for a great night of saluting veterans, active duty servicemen, and those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Kind of a July 1st tradition. That's typically when this game takes place here at Oil City Stadium, and that'll be the case this year on Friday night. First pitch of the inning here, low for a ball, and the count 1 ball and no strikes on C.J. Taronis. Here comes the 1-0. This is swung on and lifted foul off to the right, out of play, and the count 1-1.
And the Generals had a few pop-outs, which is just showing the location of Burdak's pitches. He's getting ahead of these Generals batters and is able to make them get under it.
Here's the 1-1. Taken for a strike call, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes at him.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see if the Generals can get a leadoff runner aboard, how aggressive they will be on the bases. Not a super aggressive team, but we saw it last week. They took quite a few bases amongst that whole week.
1-2 taken for strike 3 called. Taronis is out on strikes, and that's the first out here in the second inning.
And if you're Taronis, that looked like a similar pitch as the second strike. I thought the second strike was a little more outside, but that one looked right on the plate and goes down looking. We've seen a few times with the Generals hitters going down looking on strike 3. You obviously don't want to chase a pitch, but at the same time, you want to stay aggressive against a pitcher who's throwing strikes.
Swing and a miss here in the count 0-1. C.J. Burdak, again, strong season so far. His last outing was on June the 23rd against the Giants. He got the win going 4 shutout innings in that start, allowing 4 hits, 3 walks, and struck out 3. The 0-1 high for a ball, 1-1. His repertoire, fastball, changeup, curveball, slider, and also has a knuckleball in his repertoire. 1 ball and 1 strike on Brady Small. Here's the 1-1. Taken low and in for a ball, 2-1.
Yeah, naming all those pitches. Not everyone has those different breaking pitches, so when you're in a 2-strike count, a 0-2, 1-2 hole, there's a variety of different ways he can go.
2-1 strike called here, 2-2. Burdak, a native of Homer Glen, Illinois, 5'11", 140 righty, son of former big leaguer Tim Burdak. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts begin this inning. So after nothing but fly balls in the opening inning, nothing but strikeouts here in inning number 2, and quickly they're 2 down.
And what you're seeing from Burdak, too, is that interesting delivery where he pauses a little bit once he sets, sort of a Johnny Cueto type of thing, and it really throws off the hitter's timing, especially if it's a breaking pitch.
Here's the first pitch to Vertuno, swinging a foul at the plate in the count 0-1.
And when you're Burdak and you're doing that on the mound, you have extreme confidence, and he's really rolled through this lineup pretty quickly.
No balls and 1 strike from Burdak. Here's the first pitch to Fortuno, swing and a miss, and now he's ahead 0-2, and he's trying to strike out the side.
And he's in just such a rhythm that when you don't get to 2 or 3 balls in a count, he's just going to stay in that rhythm until you can get on base, and that's the problem for Joliet.
2-strike pitcher, low for a ball, 1-2. 4-0 Oilmen. They've scored 4 in the opening inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This is swung on and popped up on the infield. It's going to be the shortstop Zebig to call it and glove it, and the inning ends. 1-2-3 go the Generals in the second. After an inning and a half, it remains Oilmen 4, Generals nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
When you hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me hear Lando Frost. Premium meat. Delicious. And no byproducts.
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make a smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
Back for the second inning, 4-0 in favor of the Oilmen. The Oilmen scoring 4 in the first. Adam, this has been a trend for the Oilmen. They have gotten off to good starts in games, specifically with crooked numbers early in games and over the last week or so. And it's always a good thing when you can jump on the board right away and put some pressure on the opponent.
Oh, no doubt about it. Is when the Generals are really on a winning streak early in the year, it was them putting up runs early in the game and putting the pressure on the other team. And now it's kind of flipped the script to the opposite way where they're needing big comebacks, especially if they don't have a couple of their top hitters, usually Michael Gould and Brennan Fisher, not in the lineup tonight. It makes it even more of a mountain to climb.
No balls and a strike. Here comes the next offering, taken for strike 2 call. And it's 0-2 on Famacanon, hitting 185 on the year, the 9-hitter in the order. The Oilmen sending 8 men to the plate in a 4-run opening inning. And they did it on 4 singles, along with 1 walk and 3 wild pitches. Here's the 0-2, low and outside, blocked by Biggers, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes.
And they weren't great offensively. Joliet yesterday against the Corn Dogs had 3 hits and just 1 run. Corn Dogs had some good pitching, and they're going to face some good pitching today, but they're got to find ways to produce runs.
Here's the 1-2 swing and a tapper on the infield. Could be a tough play coming off the mound. Ryan fields it, and he makes the play and gets Famacanon at first base, and that is out number 1. 1-3 the putout goes, and that'll bring up the top of the order, and Kyle Radcliffe.
And Ryan now looking to find his rhythm. He got a couple quick outs in the first, and it sort of spiraled out of control. He's looking to have a clean inning here. He gave up just 4 runs in those 4 innings he pitched against the Oilmen last week. But now you're looking at he's giving up runs off the hits, which you'd much rather want than walks if you're manager Joe Silva.
Sure. Here's Radcliffe standing in. First pitch to him, taken low for a ball. The righty Ryan, a 5'8" native of Roselle, Illinois, and college of DuPage. 1 ball and no strikes, the count on Radcliffe. Here's a set from Ryan. And the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a drive to left. This is going to be a tough play and not going to be able to make it as Stote, he picks it up on a few bounces and guns it towards second. There's going to be a play at second. Sliding in safely is Radcliffe with a double. He hustles out a 2-base hit. It's the first extra base hit of the day on either side. And with 1 away in the second, the Oilmen a man in scoring position.
And some more good hitting by the Oilmen. And Stote looked like there was a play at second, but took that 1 extra hop off Christian Jacob and was a nearly impossible catch to know where that ball's going to bounce, how high, and then get a tag down. Although the throw didn't beat Radcliffe there. It sets up another runner in scoring position.
David Marshall hitting .299 entering play today. He's 0 for 1 in this one. Oilmen had the first 2 batters retired in that opening inning, and then all 4 runs coming after 2 were out in that frame. Ryan set and delivers the first pitch. It's taken low to Marshall on the count 1-0. Five Oilmen hits here in the early going. I talked about the big innings, but the other thing, Adam, has been the Oilmen at times have had a failure to tack on after scoring a lot of runs early. Then the offense has kind of stagnated in the middle of games. Here's the 1-0. This is swung on and lifted toward shallow left center. 3 Generals are after it, and foul ground, no play for Vasquez as that falls foul. And the count is a ball and a strike.
Yeah, and the 2 games we saw here at Oil City Stadium that the Generals took, they got off to quick starts and weren't able to tack on runs, and it ended up being a very close game down to the last pitch in both games. The last one here, Jalen Avery made a diving catch in left field with the Oilmen down 1, first and second with 2 outs. It was a game-saving play because if that ball's by him, the Oilmen win. That's all because they were not able to tack on runs after they got an early lead.
Monday's game for the Oilmen is a perfect example of what we're talking about here as Marshall awaits the 1-1 from Ryan. Here's the leg kick, and the pitch was swung on and lifted foul onto the and over the grassy berm area, the count 1-2. But on Monday, the Oilmen, obviously the 5 errors were a huge issue, but another issue was they had a couple big innings early and took an early lead. They scored 3 in the top of the first. But then after the first 3 innings, nothing from the Oilmen offense. Adam Enright telling me after Monday's game, you're not going to win too often when you don't score over 6 straight innings to close out a game. Here's the 1-2, high and in for a ball, goes even at 2-2.
Yeah, and these teams are kind of similar in those ways, both in the championship last year and trying to get back to that championship form, but still early on, but nearing the All-Star break, and both these teams looking to pick it up just another notch.
Yeah, I want to talk more about that here in just a few minutes. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Marshall. This is taken high for a ball. We go full at 3-2. The Oilmen coming off a 6-2 loss to Southland yesterday. They've lost back-to-back games to the Vikings. They lost that Monday game that I alluded to by an 8-5 score, and then they were out hit 8-3 yesterday, a game where they drew a lot of walks, but then couldn't come up with the clutch hit in the defeat to the Vikes. Here's the payoff pitch. This is swung on and lifted in the air down the left field line, curling and out of play. And we remain full at 3-2 on Marshall.
And this is a big battle right here for Ryan Owent to get a big second out in this inning. And we've seen a lot of balls from Marshall off to the left side. He's a bit late on these pitches. And Ryan's also has a good location with Marshall, a very dangerous hitter this year.
3-2 here is swung on and lifted. This one's down the left field line, foul and out of play, and onto the grassy berm area where a fan will race after it. And the count remains 3-2.
And we've seen now 3 or 4 balls hit near that same area down the third base line. But even though, Marshall's just fouling off these pitches, he's waiting for something good to hit. And Ryan just trying to keep him away from driving a pitch.
Ryan steps off here and looks the runner, Radcliffe, back to second base. Radcliffe making his Oilman debut. He doubled a moment ago with 1 out here in the second. 4-0 in favor of the Oilmen. All the damage coming in the first inning, and all of it coming with 2 outs in that inning. Now this time it's the batter, Marshall, who calls time and backs away.
It's interesting to see some kids now near that area where Marshall has fouled it off, trying to catch a foul ball because so many have gone near that area, or they just get one there from a Generals player.
3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a foul out of play. They're going to race after that one, but that's all the way out of the entire ballpark. So it would take a monumental effort to get to that baseball. The count now 3-2, remains 3-2.
And we saw some battles in the doubleheader last week, and the Oilmen won a lot of them at the plate, but we'll see if Ryan can get this pivotal out.
Payoff pitch here, swung on and lifted to left center. This is pretty well hit. It's going to be over the head of the center fielder, Taronis. Extra bases for Marshall. Here comes Radcliffe. He will score. It's 5-0 Oilmen on a run-scoring double by David Marshall, and the Oilmen keep tacking on back-to-back two baggers, and they now lead it by a high 5.
And that's an A-plus at-bat by David Marshall. Fouling off quite a few good pitches by Ryan. Gets one to drive. Drives it right near the 320 sign over Taronis. And the Oilmen looking to tack on more runs. You talked about not being able to score, especially when they score early, but trying to, put the Generals deep in a hole early.
5-0 in favor of the Oilmen. One away in the second. Hodges swings and lifts this one in the air. Foul territory, small. The right fielder will watch it bang up against the sidewall, and the count is 0-1.
There have been some foul balls that have been very close to being caught throughout the first 2 innings. I don't know if I've seen this many right near the fence to make the catch. We've seen a couple drop.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of room in foul territory here. That obviously leads to more playable balls that are in play. There's more room in Dowling Park, the home of the Vikings. There's a ton of foul territory there. And there's actually quite a bit at Crown Point as well. No balls and a strike, the count on Hodges. Here's the set from Ryan and the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball towards short. Munoz, the shortstop, gobbles it up. His play is at first base. He delivers a throw on the money. It's in time to retire Hodges for the second out of the inning. Marshall scooting to third on the play.
That's one of the first, not super hard hit balls that the Oilmen have hit. A lot of their contact has been, you knew a ball was going to get down because it was hit that hard. That time he gets a ground out to Munoz. And if Ryan can try to go, 3 to 4 innings for Silva's ball club, he should be happy about that.
Swing and a miss here by Zebig, who singled and scored his first time, and he's hitting a robust 349. Count 0-1. Oilmen looking for more 2-out damage. They scored 4 2-out runs in the first. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a fly ball, right field, back a few paces is small. Now he comes in a step or two. He gloves it and the inning ends. But the Oilmen do get one on 2 hits and leave one. After 2, Oilmen 5, Joliet nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
I am a success.
I am the future.
I am.
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 I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted and bread. Cheese, 10 more, go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
And we're back at Oil City Stadium. 5-0 the score in favor of the Oilmen. They notch back-to-back doubles in the second inning and tack on a 5th run here in the early stages of the game. And the Oilmen out to an early lead. And Adam, the Generals have a tall task against C.J. Burdak, who has so far worked 6 up and 6 down.
Yeah, you got to get some runners on the bases any way possible and just try to chip away at this lead. Ryan's hopefully going to settle down after that 4-run first inning he gave up. But you got to give your team a chance, and that starts with getting runners on base. And it changes the pitcher's mindset a bit. We've seen it with the Generals, getting runners on base, having to check on runners, stolen bases. It gets in the pitcher's head a little bit, and that's what leads to big innings a lot of the time.
Christian Jacob is standing in. The second baseman is the number 7 hitter in Joe Silva's batting order, and he will lead off this 3rd inning. But I wanted to get back to the point you brought up about how both teams, as the first pitch here, swinging a ground ball toward short. Zebig gobbles it up, and one pitch and one away here in inning number 3. A very efficient first 7 outs for Burdak, and that's the third different out that has come on one pitch. There's one away here in the third.
Yeah, and some early swings by the Generals, which sometimes helps. But when you're throwing a strike-throwing pitcher, you're also helping them out a ton to go deeper into the game. You've seen some deep at-bats by the Oilmen. They turn into good things, and so far we've seen the Generals swing within the first 3 pitches, most of the at-bats.
Here's ball 1 to Stote, and the count is 1-0. 5-0 in favor of the Oilmen here in inning number 3. Here comes Burdak back in the 1-0. This is swung on and lifted in the air to left. Back on it is Clark on the warning track. He calls it in, and he was able to snow cone that one just shy of the wall and left for the second out of the third inning. Now it's Georgie Vasquez. But to get back to this point, we talked about it in the open. These two teams were in the Midwest Collegiate League Championship Series a year ago, and they're both still trying to find themselves this season. Or another way of putting it is both teams have been a little bit disappointed in the way they've played to this point in the year. Here's the pitch to Vasquez, swinging a bouncer foul, 0-1. The Generals come in with a record of 10-12. The Oilmen are above 500, but they stand at 13-12. There's a lot of teams bunched up in the Northern League standings, all behind the Corn Dogs. The 0-1 is lined to center. That's going to be the first General hit and the first Joliet base runner of the day on a soft single to center off the bat of the 9-hitter Vasquez, and that will extend the inning for Diego Munoz.
And especially coming into this year, both teams being in the championship, like you mentioned, there's high expectations, and sometimes you feel that pressure a little bit. Corn Dogs also new to the league, who've been on top since really the very start. After they lost their first game, they ripped off a big winning streak. And also the Vikings have been really solid this year.
Here's ball 1, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, the Vikings are 1 game ahead of the Oilmen for second in the standings. The Oilmen are 5 games back of first place in the Lake County Corn Dogs. The Oilmen are a game ahead of Crestwood and a game and a half ahead of the Generals. The 1-0 is fouled. And the thing is, the Generals are outside of the playoffs looking in if the playoffs started today. The Oilmen are only a game and a half ahead of them. So here are the two teams that were in the Northern League Championship a year ago, and they're kind of battling for their playoff lives here as we are in the midway portion of the season. Here's a smash toward third, fielded on a few hops by Fon McCannon. Nice play to navigate that bounce, and he guns it across the diamond in time. Back to this thought when we come back. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for the Generals in the third. After 2.5, it remains Oilmen 5, Generals nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Don't go to the office. We build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an ironworker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
Don't go to the office. We build it.
12th, a Tuesday night. It is the 20th. The Oilmen, the Vikings, and the Corn Dogs up against the Generals, the American Giants, and the Panthers on July the 12th right here at Oil City Stadium. For tickets or more information, you know to visit NWIOilmen.com today. Here's the first pitch to Clark. It's fouled away, and the count 0-1. Hard to believe the All-Star game is right around the corner.
And no kidding, mentioning those standings, there's not a ton of time after the All-Star break. The season is divided, and there's a lot more games before it. And that's big for both these teams because every game is so big, moving from now until the end of the regular season to find a way to get into the playoffs, because once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen.
This is low and outside for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. We mentioned neither of these teams are really thriving maybe as much as we thought they would at the beginning of the season. Let's talk about why a little bit here in this inning. The 1-1 high for a ball, 2-1. I think it's opposite reasons. For the Oilmen, the offense has been the issue. They're, in fact, dead last in the league in batting average at .249, where Joliet leads the league in batting average, hitting .293 as a team. Here's the 2-1. This is high for ball 3-1. But the general problem has been the pitching staff, a .698 earned run average, ranks 5th in the Northern League. The Oilmen are 2nd in the league at .474. So it's two teams, both with kind of opposite issues as we await the 3-1 to Clark. And it swung on and bounced to first, pretty sharply hit, but Vertuno, the first baseman, gloves it and he kicks the first base cushion for the first out of the 3rd inning.
And it really has been an evident issue for the Generals. They've had some good starts, but throughout the game, they've given up big innings. That kind of stems from their defense. Also, they made quite a few errors. But it started from the walks, because once you're walking batters, you're putting yourself in a situation where one hit really breaks it open, breaks it into a big inning, and the wild pitches combined with the errors combined with the walks, and then if you mix in a few hits, it's a 4 or 5 run inning like we saw in the first today.
Zarnacki takes high and in for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Zarnacki singled and drove in 2 before eventually scoring on a wild pitch in the first inning. 5-0 Oilmen. Here's the 1-0 taken off the plate for a ball, and it's 2-0.
And also first pitch strike. Obviously, we don't have statistics on that, but how often you get the first pitch strike, you're more likely to get the batter out. And especially once you get a pitcher to 2 strikes, you force them to try to just foul tough pitches away. But once the hitter gets to that 3-1, 3-0 count, it's all in the hitter's control whether they want to take that pitch or swing it, most likely a fastball, right in the zone.
Here's the 3-0 taken outside for ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk, and that will allow the Oilmen to produce their first base runner of this 3rd inning with Dom Curcio due next. That is just the second walk issued by Ryan. For the most part, it's been hits that have produced the Oilmen runs, with 6 hits for the Oilmen, although the wild pitches were a factor in that first inning as well. There were 3 of them. But now Curcio with a runner on first and 1 away. Left-handed batting Curcio wiggles the bat behind the head. First pitch to him is swung on and lined to shallow left center. Coming in to make the catch is the center fielder Taronis, and retreating back to first safely is Zarnacki. Now 2 down in the inning, and the frame will rest on the shoulders of Sebastian Cabeza.
Also, a couple weeks ago when these teams played, the Generals walked 13 batters, and it's not very likely you're going to win a game with double digits and walks. And we saw that come back to bite them Wednesday when they combined, and both games had 22 walks in just 12 innings of action. The first game only went 5 innings because of a 10-run rule.
Cabeza takes strike call in the count 0-1. 5-0 Oilmen here in the 3rd. Oilmen scored 4 in the opening inning and 1 in the 2nd. 2 outs, and runner at first base. Here's the 0-1. This is low and outside for a ball, 1-1. Oilmen still doing what they can to try to climb their way back into the standings and get back in contention for that first spot in the Northern League. But Lake County is, and we have a balk that has been called. The balk has been called on Ryan here, and Zarnacki is going to be awarded second base. But Lake County, right now, the top spot in the Northern League by a fairly wide margin. They're taking on Crestwood tonight. That game is in the 4th, and there's no score. Southland over the Giants by a 16-6 score. Here's the 1-1. It's a strike, and it's 1-2. Cabeza standing in with a 1 ball and 2 strike count, trying to drive in a 2-out run. Here's the 1-2. This is swung on and lifted in the air toward left center. Long run for Toronis. The center fielder's still going back on it. He lays out for it. He can't make the catch. It's extra bases for Cabeza. Zarnacki comes in and scores. RBI double, Sebastian Cabeza, and the Oilmen have scored in each inning. They lead the Generals 6-0.
I mean, Cabeza absolutely crushed that ball, but blocked a little bit behind brick wall in front of me. But CJ Toronis came from a long way, and I have no clue how he even got a glove on that ball. I mean, he was coming from right center field and right near the 403 sign. And he had it in his glove, it looked like, but once it hit the ground, it popped out. And he's had some wild plays here at Oil City Stadium already this year. One in right we saw a couple weeks ago and a couple already here today.
2 outs and a runner at second. First pitch dots the lower outer portion of the zone to Famacana, the count 0-1.
And you can see it now. This is where Toronis was standing in the last at-bat from his view to the left of the second base bag. And it's a long way to go to the left center gap, but more shaded the ball towards center.
0-1 high for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. 6-0 Oilmen. Oilmen are out hitting Joliet 7-1. 2 out single in the third for Vasquez is the only general hit to this point. We're in the fourth. Here's the 1-1. Taken outside for a ball. Ryan Slawinski always lets us know that it's out. And the count 2-1.
You would have loved a clean inning there, but at the same time, I got to get the bats going somehow and shift the momentum in this game. Still early, but the Oilmen have really scored runs at will.
This is popped up to shallow right. The second baseman, Jacob, going out, and he gloves it, and the inning ends. Oilmen settle for the 1 run. They do it on 1 hit and leave 1 after 3. It's now Oilmen 6 and Joliet nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Beach is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well-mouthed desert, meet ice-cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. Let's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home. The ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track. Help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Notre Dame FCU is your full-service, not-for-profit financial cooperative serving all of Lake County. They go where you go. Bank online through a mobile app or by phone. While others answer to stockholders, Notre Dame FCU answers to their members. Visit NotreDameFCU.com/member to become a member and receive $200 when you open a checking account. Insured by NCUA. Visit their website for full offer details. And if you want more information on their products and services, you can find that on their website as well. It's Oilman Baseball tonight, and it's brought to you by Notre Dame FCU. They were the proud sponsor of 4-6-3-9 night. A very good crowd on hand last week for that. First pitch of the inning here is fisted in the air off the bat of Biggers. It's caught in foul territory by Famacana. 1 pitch and 1 away to begin the 4th.
And I feel like we've heard that one before. 1 pitch, 1 out, and it's happening quite a few at-bats. And even though Burdak's throwing strikes, you have to feel like maybe you change the approach against him a little bit. Because, you know, Burdak now knows that the Generals are going to be aggressive. So you might want to try to take a striker, sort of change your approach in some way, because he's really just firing it in there, changing up his rhythm, doing whatever he wants, really.
First pitch low here, 1 ball and no strikes. He's really been impressive, not only tonight, but so far this season. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, swinging a ball that's lifted in the air in foul territory. Zarnacki, the first baseman, cannot make the catch. Coming off the mound was Burdak to try to catch it, and the ball fell. This was a difficult play for either player. The first baseman, Zarnacki, and the pitcher, Burdak, both had a long way to go to get to this one. A good effort by them, but neither man can make the catch, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Vincent.
Sometimes a pitcher's on with strikeouts, which we've seen from Burdak, but you also know they're on if they're forcing pop-ups, which Burdak has really done a lot. Just showing just the movement on his pitches. The Generals are late, they're early, they're kind of all around. They really haven't timed up a lot of pitches, and that's what leads to hits most of the time.
Yeah, great point. 2 balls and a strike. There have been a lot of little pop flies off the bat of General hitters so far today. Here's a 2-1. Swinging a tapper foul, and it's 2-2. Burdak, maybe a little bit of a late bloomer, got a lot of small D2 and some D3 offers, but decided to go the junior college route, play 2 years, save some money, and have a chance to potentially go to who knows what level after the junior college tenure. Here's a check swing and a foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. He will head to Iowa Central Community College. He is a 2022 graduate of Lockport High School and a Homer Glen, Illinois native. Here's the 2-2 to Vincent. The reigning MVP of the league fouls this one, and the count remains 2-2.
Now you're seeing Vincent's getting more pitches to hit because he's in a 2-2 count, and Burdak's not trying to move the count full, so you're going to get more pitches to hit, which a lot of the Generals hitters haven't seen.
Here's the 2-2, and he slaps this one foul. A lot of check swings, a lot of weak contact. You can tell he's fooling hitters, even some very talented hitters out there on the mound.
Oh, no doubt about it, and you can see by, their swings and where the ball is going. As a right-hand batter, you don't really want to check swing and hit a foul ball near the opposing team's dugout. That's not exactly a positive sign.
Here's a tapper up the middle. It's going to go as a base hit. Again, soft contact, but Vincent just taps it over the head of Burdak. It's a 1-out single here in the 4th.
And I have no clue how Vincent made contact with that ball. That was way off the corner and high a bit. But the Generals did need a break to go their way, and they get it here. And we'll see how aggressive they are on the bases. Down 6-0, but still, if you can find a way to chip into that lead and give your pitchers, Ryan and the bullpen, a little more to work with.
Burdak ready to fire to the new batter. Here's a strike to Toronis in the count 0-1. Burdak loves golfing whenever he can get a club in his hands. He's a big golfer out on the golf course. 0-1 for Toronis. Lead at first for Vincent. And here's the 0-1 offering. It's high for a ball, 1-1. Do you spend a lot of time out on the golf course?
I do not. My brother really got into golfing after college, and whenever he's home from his work, usually I can go to the golf course, get a bucket of golf balls. Not super expensive.
Here's the 1-1, swinging a foul, but you don't participate?
I do participate, but I'm not very good.
Okay, I got you.
I'm trying to work on.
You don't win very many of the battles.
No, I don't, and especially how far you can drive the ball. With my form, it's more of a baseball swing.
Yeah.
You got to have the straight arms back. Otherwise, the ball's not going anywhere.
1-2 on Toronis. This is swung on and tapped to the right side of the infield. Kind of an unusual play. Marshall throws to first in time. Nice job to get the out on that one, advancing to second safely as Vincent. 4-3 the putout goes, and there's 2 gone with a runner at second here in the 4th.
Yes, more weak contact by the Generals throughout their order.
Yeah. 2 outs now, and Small will stand in. Your brother Sam, of course, was the voice of the Joliet Generals, actually in their first season as the Generals, the original voice of the Generals, back when they had just become the Generals after Joliet previously had the Admirals in the league. Joe Hernandez was the manager of that team. This is high and outside for a ball, 1-0. And he worked with me, obviously, on a number of broadcasts in this league, and now he works out in Bristol as a producer at ESPN.
He really likes it out there, and his journey kind of started here with the Generals, which is really crazy to look at. so many opportunities out there in the world and ended up probably where he wants to be in Bristol.
It's high for ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, good for him. We're happy for him here in the league and happy to have you along. And tonight, a little bit of history as you become the first time a brother combo has both worked with me here in the Northern League or previously the Midwest Collegiate League. So I have the list. Any guesses on how many different broadcast partners I have had do at least one game with me in my time here with the Oilmen?
I'll get back to you after this pitch.
Yeah, 2-0, 2 outs. And the rest of the press box can jump in with guesses as well. Here's the pitch outside for a ball, 3 balls and no strikes.
I'm going to go with 65.
Okay, you're a little heavy. Leo Staudaher producing today's game. 24, okay. David. Here's the 3-0. David Bork working alongside as always. But David has been here with me for most of this, so he might have the best context. 3 balls and 1 strike. And he was one of the broadcast partners. .31 according to Ben Slack. Here's the 3-1 swing and a foul. 37. You were number 37 tonight, Adam. It's your first game working with me.
Man, I was way off. No, I was maybe trying to go for double it. I wasn't sure what the question was, so maybe just a miscalculation by about 30.
I mean, I thought 37 was a lot I have been here since 2012, but over 10 seasons. I mean, some of them I had the same broadcast partner every single game, so I guess it's hard without having the full context. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He went too far. A lot of check swings from general hitters today, and that means Burdak is fooling them. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We'll talk more about that list when we come back after 3.5, 6-0 Oilmen on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
When you hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me hear Lando Frost. Premium meat. Delicious. And no byproducts.
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
We're having a little fun in the top of this 4th inning with the Oilmen leading Joliet 6-0 as we go to the bottom half. About the number of different broadcasters I've worked with tonight Adam Oppenheim becoming the first member of a brother combo to be on that list of 37 different broadcast partners that I've done games with here since 2012. When I started as the number 2 broadcaster for the Oilmen, the first year I worked with the same partner every game, and Andy Schultz. Then the second year there were 2 broadcasters that I worked with. So you're 2 seasons in there, and you only have 3 on the list. 2014. Joey Gelman did the majority of the home games, and David Bork did most of the road games. Then there were maybe 1 other broadcaster that was in the mix that year. And then 2015 was where we had a rotating cast of broadcasters with me that year. So then the number really increased. Not sure how many fans care about this. Here's a ground ball foul. The count 0-1, but we've gone down this road now. 6-0 here in the 4th inning. As frame being led off by Kyle Radcliffe, who doubled and scored in the second. But then 2016, I was with Nathan Dickinson for just about every game. And then 2018 was where it really turned into the current method where various team broadcasters will do games with me along with the Oilman broadcast partner. So that's since then it has really grown. Here comes the 0-1. This is taken high for a ball, and I think it gives us a nice chance to hear for example, tonight, the general perspective, and hear from somebody who has seen every game for the Generals, working alongside me, who has been with the Oilmen over the course of the season. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count on Radcliffe. Here's the pitch on the way. Swinging a foul out of play, and the count 1-2. Oilmen are out hitting the Generals 7-2. The Oilmen have scored in each inning. They got 4 in the first, but it's been important they've been able to tack on. They get 2 in the last 2 innings combined, 1 in each frame, the second and third. Here's the set from Ryan, the 1-2 pitch. Taken for a ball outside, and the count 2-2.
And Ryan's season high is 4 innings, which he did last week against the Oilmen, but before then, he's gone 3 in 2 innings. So mainly uses a bullpen guy, but now is in for his second start.
Radcliffe swings and misses for strike 3. He blew that one by him, and that is the first out here in inning number 4.
Yeah, and the trouble for him hasn't been getting the first out. I believe he's had it every inning, but it's what's happened after that with 1 and 2 outs. Runners on base, the wild pitches, some good hitting by the Oilmen, and really all that is translating to a 6-0 lead early in this one.
A good point. All 4 innings now, the Oilman leadoff batter has been retired. But the Oilmen have scored in each of the first 3 innings. First pitch to Marshall here, grounded to the right side. Navigating the bounce is Vertuno. He'll take it himself. 3 unassisted, the putout goes. And 2 up and 2 down to begin the 4th.
And this is how Evan Ryan started the game in the first inning, but he would love a 1-2-3 inning. Maybe save some bullpen arms as well. And try to get the bats, try to get some momentum for the bats to heat up. Because at some point, you're going to need to get runners on and get them across and get them in. And maybe that's trying to work Burdak more to get to the Oilman bullpen, because Burdak's just been so good this year.
First pitch here high. Adam in the count, 1 ball and no strikes on Hodges.
And you certainly would love to work more into that bullpen, which is probably more hittable than Burdak has been this year, and especially against a Generals team he's seen so many times. He knows some of their tendencies as well.
There's a bouncing ball towards short, fielded by Munoz. The throw to first is in time, and the inning ends. Ryan works 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. We've played 4, which means Leo will have it for you when we come back. It's the Oilmen 6 and Joliet 0 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
I am a success. I am the future.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Leo Stauder, Adam Oppenheim back with you here at Oil City Stadium, where the Northwest Indiana Oilmen lead the Joliet Generals 6-0. That was a change of pace, though, for Joliet in the last inning. The first frame where the Oilmen went up to bat and were not able to record some runs, Evan Ryan was able to execute a 1-2-3 inning, setting up now for his bats to come up with Vertuno, Jacob, and Stote here to lead off the 5th inning.
And it's not surprising when you allow no runners on base. Are able to just focus one-on-one with the batter and get a few quick outs, which he really needed.
And Vertuno flies up his first pitch he sees from Burdak in the foul territory on the right side of the diamond. So make the count 0-1 as Burdak fires this one quickly. Another foul ball to a similar spot. Burdak, you mentioned it in the last inning, Adam, that he's working different deliveries. We see sometimes a little bit of an accelerated wind, then he does that hesitation, and it's really keeping these hitters guessing as his 0-2. That one comes up near the hands of Vertuno, but he fouls that one away.
And that's about the 4th time we've seen that, where a check swing on a pitch way inside was fouled off towards the first base dugout.
As now here comes Vertuno. There's that hesitation again. Swing and miss for strike 3. That was Burdak firing to Vertuno there, and he racks up another strikeout there.
Yeah, and once again, that breaking ball with that, slowed rotation, he said, and then once you're set and you release the ball, it's not a balk if you do any, sort of movement towards the plate. And even though, the Generals are making contact in foul territory, we haven't really seen a hard hit foul ball either. And that's a sign that Burdak being on as we see another swing and a miss.
Christian Jacobs swinging well over this one. It looked like a good breaking ball there. As Burdak still looking solid through the 5th inning here. He's had to work some long relief options against the Generals. This is 0-1. Misses inside there. He's started for the Oilmen, and now he seems one of those pitchers where he seems to be getting better every time he takes the mound. Just the sort of confidence he has when he's up there as he gets ready for the 1-1. This one fouled away to near the Oilman dugout on the right side of the diamond. Makes it a 1-2 count.
And also in terms of location, Burdak's pitches, he's working off the outside corner a lot, but he's left not many pitches in the middle of the zone. Really, the couple hits the Generals have had have been weak contact.
Burdak misses on the 1-2 down low, so that'll leave the count at 2-2. This is the second start of the season for Burdak. His last one came on the 23rd against the American Giants. He fires that one in, and Jacob puts it on the air right side of the diamond. Coming in on it is Curcio, but instead Marshall, the second baseman, pedals back to get to that one. Avoided a collision with Curcio there for the second out of the inning.
And some more weak contact. It's like I'm just repeating myself every inning, but there's been a lot of pop-outs, not a ton of line drives, some weak hit foul balls. And Burdak's really just been cruising through this game, has had to face little to no adversity, although a lot of that is due to him being so dominant.
Tom Stoute comes to the box here, getting ready to face Burdak for the second time today as he puts this one in the air to center field. Radcliffe is camping under that one, and he secures it for the third out of the inning. So the Generals come up 1-2-3, and they go down in the same order, 1-2-3. Oilmen still lead 6-0 through 5.5. You're following along on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network. Don't go to the office. We build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an ironworker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
Back for the bottom of the 5th inning here at Oil City Stadium, where it will be Ziebig, Clark, and Zarnacki for the Oilmen to go 1-2-3, and they'll be facing a new pitcher on the mound for the Joliet Generals. It'll be the right-hander Will Janes coming on to the mound for the 8th time this season. Adam, what can we expect from the new right-hander for Joliet?
Well, he certainly has a lot of velocity, and we talked about it the last time at Oil City Stadium. It's if these bullpen pitchers can command the ball, because they certainly can throw it very hard, but we've seen quite a walk issue with Janes. He's had a total of around 15 walks this year, including his last outing against the Oilmen last week. 2 innings pitched, 8 runs, all earned, 8 hits, 4 walks, and just 3 strikeouts. So he's really struggled this year finding the zone, but when he's found the zone, he's been pretty dominant. He went through quite a good stretch and up until that Oilman game, but he's also faced a bunch of the top teams. He's faced the Corn Dogs twice, and he's pitched against the Oilmen. This is his 5th appearance against Northwest Indiana. So it'll be interesting to see what comes from him today.
Jack Ziebig settles in the left-handed batter's box. He's been an Oilman that can really get things going. He singled in the first inning, eventually came around and scored off of a single from Zarnacki. So now he'll be getting ready for his second at-bat of the game. This time he'll be facing a different pitcher. Evan Ryan pitched the first 4 innings for the Generals, and now they go to Will Janes as they trail the Oilmen by a score of 6-0. So it'll be Ziebig in the box here, left-handed batter. Ziebig, a graduate of Marmion Academy. So he gets ready for the 0-0 delivery, and this one misses outside for ball 1.
And the key for James is also first pitch strikes. And he loves his fastball. And he goes to quite often.
And this one misses outside for ball 2. That one just drifted away from the hand of Janes there.
And James is sort of the perfect example of what this team could be and some of the struggles they've had, because he's been really good at times and other times he's really struggled to find the zone. There, the catcher's mitt.
He finds the strike zone there, so it'll make it a 2-1 count. That fastball was where he was hoping to locate it, facing Ziebig, who's batting .349 on the season, 22 hits and 63 at-bats. He's walked 15 times, as he has the 2-1 advantage against Janes here. This one grabs the outside edge of the zone for strike 2, so now we're even at 2 here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The leadoff hitter, Ziebig. Ziebig did not offer on that one, as Biggers was able to secure it near the edge of the zone. So here comes the breakthrough pitch from Janes. And Ziebig drives this one through the middle of the infield. That gets past Jacob at second base and rolls out to the outfield. That'll be a leadoff single for Ziebig.
And although it seems just like a base hit, but we'll see how Janes is able to adjust. And the last time we did a game here at Oil City Stadium, the Oilmen had plenty of chances with the bases loaded, and the Generals were able to magically get out of them with double plays. Here, they're down 6-0, but still, the Oilmen would love to tack on more runs, especially from the way the last couple games have ended here between these two teams.
Going to bring Chaz Clark, the left-handed batter, of the box here to face Janes, the right-hander. He takes a first pitch strike. In that game, last game between the Oilmen and Generals here, the Oilmen had 3 opportunities with the bases loaded, 2 of them with only 1 out in the inning, and were unable to send runners across the plate in any of those. 2 ground out double plays and a strikeout would stifle those. So now the count is 0-1 to Clark as he drives this to center field. Terronez takes a couple steps, gets under that one for the second out of this inning, or the first out of this inning.
And James is now able to find the zone a bit, and we've seen that from him. He's thrown some pitches that have really been wild, but he's also thrown some pitches that are hard and in the zone. But he is an important piece to their bullpen, which Joe Silva relies heavily on. Will James and Matt Dinkle, which we also might see today.
That brings Kyle Zarnacki to the box here. Zarnacki is handling the first base duties for the Oilmen this evening. He takes a first pitch strike from Janes. Zarnacki trying to overcome a pair of strikeouts in last night's game, as he has singled and walked tonight. So now Janes prepares for the 0-1 delivery. Launches that one a bit high and inside for ball 1. Looked like the breaking ball there just didn't get the spot he wanted on that one. You could tell basically right when he hopped off the mound there that he was a little worried about that. As the count's even at 1-1. You see Ziebig, the runner on first, getting off to about a 4 or 5 step lead at the bag. Now Janes with the 1-1 pitch, misses outside. Biggers, the catcher, looks over to first, but does not opt to throw. Goes back to the mound instead. Count moves to 2-1.
This has been a pretty clean game for the most part. The Oilmen have just had quite a few hits. We've seen 0 errors, which we have not seen in the past few games.
Pretty well-played defensive game as Janes prepares for the 2-1. Swinging under it is Zarnacki. I'm sure now that we just said that, there will be a flurry of errors in this inning, as the count is now 2-2.
Yeah, I'll take the blame for that one if it happens.
The broadcaster's jinx. We saw Brandon knocked on some wood there, so hopefully that took care of it. As the 2-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. Zarnacki could not catch up to that one as it was breaking low and away from him. So that'll be the second out of the inning. So after giving up the leadoff single to Ziebig, we've seen Janes be able to get back-to-back outs here.
Man, back-to-back breaking balls, and that's what he can be, is a pitcher who gets a lot of swings and misses. Got Zarnacki out there on a couple really good pitches. You just got to be able to do it consistently. And
Dom Curcio in the box for the Oilmen. He drills this one over to second base. It deflects off the shoulder of Jacob. Not stopping at second is Ziebig. He pulls all the way from first to third. I'll put Curcio on base via the air. So much for that clean played game, Adam.
Yeah, I just had a feeling, and also people knocked down wood, so I don't know what happened. It must not work anymore.
And Curcio swinging on the first pitch there as he now reaches base for the third time today. A double that drove in a run. He walked in the first inning. So Curcio, who came into the game with his average at the Mendoza line at 200, has now reached base 3 times. It could be big for him to gain some confidence as now Sebastian Cabeza steps into the box. He takes a strike near the inside part of the zone from James to start this count 0-1.
And what has also hurt James is the wild pitch, and especially when there's a runner on third, you want to make them try to hit it in rather than throwing a wild pitch, which gives them a free pass home usually.
Cabeza watches one go high for ball 1. Count evens at 1-1. He's 0 for 2 so far today. A pair of flyouts in the first and the third inning. As he's in the box here, 1-1, 2 outs, and runners on first and third. James gets ready on the mound, fires from the stretch. Moving is Curcio. Cabeza breaks the lumber as that one rolls over to third. Throwing is Vasquez, and that will do it. The Oilmen put 2 men on, but are able to get one across the plate as they leave the 5th inning with a score remaining. Oilmen 6, Generals 0. Brandon will be back with the call when we come back for the 6th inning on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Beach is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well-mouthed desert, meet ice-cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. That's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home. The ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track. Help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
Back at Oil City Stadium with Adam Oppenheim. Brandon Vickery back with you. Leo Staudaher and David Bork are working alongside. Ben Slack is with us as well. Happy to have you with us on the Oilman Broadcasting Network on AM 1230 WJOB, Region Sports, and JED TV, along with the Oilman Facebook page as we take it to inning number 6. It is 6-0 in favor of the Oilmen. They score 4 in the first and 1 in each of the second and third innings, and that's been enough so far for C.J. Burdak, the right-hander, Adam, who has been sound to this point.
He's been really sharp through 5 innings. 5 1/3 is his season high against the Generals on June the 10th. 5 1/3, 8 hits and 0 runs, and is looking for his second donut against the Generals this year.
Here's the first pitch to Vasquez, taken for a strike, in the count 0-1.
Really, there hasn't been a lot of traffic on the bases. Obviously, you want to try to get a stolen base, but they haven't had opportunities with runners in scoring position at all.
Here's a high chop to third, racing in Famacanon. His throw to first is going to be not in time, and now trying to advance to second safely is Vasquez, and he will. It was a tough play, a high chop. Famacanon had to race in, make the play. Could have been a close play at first. Vasquez ends up at second base after the throw gets away, and that'll bring up Diego Munoz after the first Oilman error of the game, allows Vasquez to move up to second.
Man, that's just something you just got to make contact on the ball. Another weakly hit ball, but it turns into Vasquez on second after, of course, another error. After I said that it's been a clean game, we've now seen back-to-back batters.
First pitch is swung on and lifted foul out of play in the count 0-1. Let's see, they will go with straight error here, and the count is no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, it would have been a real close play at first.
Here's a swing and a ground ball to the left side. This is fielded by Zebig. The shortstop throws to first in time, and Vasquez ends up at third. 6-3, the putout goes for the first out of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and off the bat for Munoz, that ball looked like it was hit hard, but it really came slow into Jack Zebig, who makes the easy play. But Generals' first time with the runner on third base in this game. We'll see if they can get a run across and start to bring the momentum more back their way, as Burdak is really not gone farther than 5 1/3 this year.
It's high for a ball on Biggers in the count 1-0. Yeah, this will be an important test for him as pitching deeper in a game. He has been very efficient, though, in terms of pitch count. Here comes the 1-0. Low for a ball with a 6-run lead. The Oilmen playing the infield back in this spot. Throw back to Burdak gets away, but not far enough for the runner Vasquez to think about scoring from third.
Yeah, no kidding. There's not often you see a pitcher at 60 pitches through 5 innings, around 11 pitches or 12 pitches per inning.
2-0 here is outside for a ball, 3 balls and no strikes.
This has really been the first time he's also been behind 3-0, and this lead could evaporate quickly.
And this is high and in for ball 4. It's the first walk of the day issued by Burdak, so an error and a walk in the inning, and runners at first and third with 1 away for Bryce Vincent.
And we talked about earlier the Oilmen tacking on runs. They had 4 in the first and 1 run each in the second and the third, and they haven't scored since, and giving a short window for the Generals to try to get back in this game if they can grab a couple here, cut the lead in half even.
1 out, runners at first and third, 6-0 Oilmen. Burdak trying to keep the shutout intact. The middle infield is back, looking for something they can turn. Here's a pickoff throw to first, and diving back to the bag safely is Biggers.
Smart play there by Burdak, because you had a feeling Biggers would try to take second with the runner on third. Don't want to throw it down to second and have the runner score. And he almost caught Biggers sleeping there and almost picked him off.
Here's the first pitch high for a ball, and the count 1-0 on Bryce Vincent.
And now going through the me of the order, so this is the best situation the Generals have had to score runs coming in the top of the 6th inning.
The 1-0 here, high for a ball. Count 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out, runners at first and third. Burdak behind in the count after a walk a moment ago. The 2-0 is delivered, and it's lifted foul off to the right and out of play. 2 balls and a strike now on Vincent.
You can see Vincent was just hunting a pitch in 1 pitch, 1 zone. Looked like he got a fastball there from Burdak, but that's what happens when you get behind as a pitcher. He doesn't want to walk another batter, and is forced to throw it more near the middle of the plate, which he hasn't had to do a lot of this game.
Here's the 2-1, taken high for a ball, 3-1. Burdak again getting late in his day here, trying to get through the 6th inning. Put perhaps a 0 on the board, or at least limit the damage. Here's the 3-1. This is swung on and lifted foul out of play. Now we go full at 3-2, and Burdak perhaps thinking strikeout on this payoff pitch.
And Vincent put some good wood on that one as well. You can see the Generals here is getting a feel for them. They've already been through the order, a couple times. And the more you go through order and the more you see a pitcher, you know what's coming.
Runner goes, pitch is swung on and lifted to shallow center, racing in Radcliffe. He's going to play it on a bounce, and the throw toward the plate is going to be wild, and now runners are going to move up to second and third after an E8 at the end of the play. So we'll sort out the scoring. Vincent, a run-scoring single. Vasquez was on third base, and for whatever reason, Radcliffe tried to throw out Vasquez, who was only advancing 1 base to score on this play. He did maybe have an opportunity where a perfect throw could get him at home, as Vasquez with a late read on that because Radcliffe had a chance to make the catch, and so Vasquez was then trying to run home. Radcliffe threw toward home wildly, and the runners moved up to second and third on the E8. So it's a hit, an RBI for Vincent, his 14th of the year, and it's now 6-1 in favor of the Oilmen, as C.J. Toronis will stand in next. He's 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch to him is swung on and smashed to center. That's a base hit. Biggers in to score. Here's Vincent around third. He's going to try to score. The throw toward the plate. There's going to be a play at the plate, and he's out easily. The throw rolled in there, but Vincent was cut down. He hesitated around third, and he's easily out at the plate. And down by multiple runs here. The Generals make an out on the bases. 1 run scores to make it 6-2. RBI single for Torones. Vincent is cut down 8-2 for the second out of the inning.
I was about to talk about the last play, and that one happened so fast. So Radcliffe sort of an ill-advised throw, and then an ill-advised play for Bryce Vincent to go home. And the interesting thing,
Small swings and grounds this one to the right side, deep in the hole at second. No play for Marshall. This is a base hit. Now trying to go first to third on the play is Vincent. Here comes the throw to third. It's offline. He's safe at third base. Single for Small here. The action fast and furious. 3 straight hits for the Generals. The runners end up at first and third with 2 down.
yeah, and like I was talking about there, is that next one happened so fast. The ill-advised play by Vincent to go home. I wasn't sure if Joe Silva was telling him to go home. I think he was waiting, and when he saw it bounce so many times, he thought, no way is this going to get to Cabeza at home, and Vincent wasn't able to beat it. And he ends up trying to, hop the tag sort of, as he didn't slide into home, and he would have scored on that hit there. So a big momentum-changing play.
And Vertuno gets hit by a pitch. Look out, he gets clipped with this one, and now the bases are going to be full of Generals. 2 runs in the bank, 6-2 in favor of the Oilmen, and a big spot here, Adam, as Christian Jacob will come up with the bases loaded and 2 down.
And Burdak was sort of stuck on that 1 out that he needed to get his season high, which was the 2nd out at home. Now Christian Jacob, who's been good in recent weeks, is up.
Here's a ground ball up the middle. This is going to be fielded by the shortstop Z-Big. Flip to second. There's the force, and that is the inning. 6-4 on the fielder's choice, and the inning ends, but not before damage done, as the Generals score twice on 3 hits. There was an error, there was a hit batter, and a walk, and they leave the maximum. After 5.5, it's now Oilmen 6, Joliet 2 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
When you hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me hear Lando Frost. Premium meat. Delicious. And no byproducts.
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
Well, a string of errors here after we had a clean ball game up until the 5th inning, and then something seemed to change. All of a sudden, the teams have gotten a little sloppy defensively. The Oilmen have made 2 miscues and Joliet 1. But the Oilmen, a good job limiting the damage to 2 runs in that 6th inning as the Generals strand the bases loaded, and it was late in the day for Burdak. He was very, very good for the first 5 innings, almost untouchable, and it got a little shaky there in that 6th, but he was able to recover and get out of the inning without turning it into this ridiculously large inning for Joliet, limiting the damage to 2 runs.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a big inning as Vincent was thrown out home. Sort of a ill-advised send there. Or I don't know if it was a send or not. I was very confused on what Joe Silva was saying over there at third to Bryce Vincent, but sometimes you have those bases loaded opportunities and they don't come around super often. We've seen it from the Generals in the early innings where they had chances and they only grab 1 or 2 runs, and suddenly you don't get a shot the rest of the game that good.
Yeah, I think when you're down by maybe a run, if you make an out on the bases, it's worth the risk. Here's a strike call in the count 0-1. When you're down multiple runs and you kind of had the other team starter on the ropes in that inning, the last thing you want to do is make an out on the base pass. Here's the 0-1 to Fama-Cannon. And look out, he gets hit up in the head area, and he appears to be okay. It grazed him, I think, and he's going to take first base.
And talking about James's location, that one was well off the plate, well inside, and clipped him. And looking to get a clean inning to get the bats back up. Most likely you'll not see C.J. Burdak back on the mound. But like you mentioned, they had him on the ropes, and suddenly, the momentum's starting to swing to the Oilmen with the leadoff runner aboard.
Here's a pitch taken for a strike in the count 0-1. It is senior discount night here at Oil City Stadium. Every Wednesday, when there's a home game, you bet it's 50% off all tickets for seniors ages 60 and over, I believe it is. No balls in 1 strike. Runner goes, pitch low for a ball. Throw to second is going to be not in time. Safe at second with a stolen base is Fama Cannon. Now the Oilmen a runner in scoring position as a base hit could drive in a run.
And usually leadoff walks or hit by pitches come back to haunt a pitcher here, and we'll see if James can get out of this without any more damage, because the Oilmen are really looking to extend this and put this out of reach as we go later into this one.
Here's the 1-1. This is swung on and popped up. It's a routine. It's on the infield. Munoz, the shortstop, calls this one, and he gloves it for the first out of the 6th inning. Radcliffe is now 1 for 4 as he is retired here in the 6th.
And once again, you're seeing how James can be really good, and then you're seeing how he struggles, and it feels like every relief appearance, he has those really good flashes of being, one of the best relievers across the Northern League, and other times where he's struggling to find the strike zone.
6-2 in favor of the Oilmen here in inning number 6. Marshall standing in. Here's the first pitch. Swinging a ground ball toward first. This will be picked up by Vertuno. The first baseman kicks the sack for out number 2, advancing to third base safely as Fama Cannon, but now 2 down in the inning, and the frame will rest on the shoulders of Jason Hodges.
Yeah, now you have an opportunity to get out of this without any damage after a hit by pitch and a stolen base. Certainly this would be an awful time for a wild pitch. Don't want to speak that into existence, but he's really struggled with the wild pitches, especially when there's been runners on.
Hodges standing in, 2 outs, runner at third, 6-2 the score, and he went too far. He's fooled there, and it's 0-1.
And when his fastball's so high velocity, in the 90s, when he changes to the breaking ball, it's a really good change of speed, and especially when he locates it, when it's in the zone and drops out, it's very hard to lay off.
Here's the 0-1. This is inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow night, Thirsty Thursday here at the ballpark. Again tonight, this senior discount night. A number of seniors have made their way to Oil City Stadium to take advantage here tonight. Here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss. The count 1-2. And then, again, Thirsty Thursday tomorrow. That's always a great one. It's a fan favorite. And then Friday will be the big one this week, the one that we always circle, Military Appreciation Night. Big night as the Oilmen take on the Corn Dogs. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning ends. The tag applied to confirm the out as Hodges strikes out swinging. The Oilmen shut out in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, and 1 left. We've played 6. Oilmen 6, Joliet 2 on the Northwest.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
I am a success. I am the future.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted and bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Back at Oil City Stadium, where there's a new pitcher on the mound, and that means the day is done for C.J. Burdak. And it was a strong day for him. He exits in position for the win after allowing 2 runs. They were unearned on just 5 hits while walking 1 and striking out 4 over 6 solid innings. Left-hander Mike Burness is in, and it was a good day, Adam, for the starting pitcher C.J. Burdak as he yields, again, just 2 runs and both unearned over the 6 innings that he works. The Generals are going to use a pinch batter here as the Oilmen a 6-2 lead. New pitcher on the mound. Burness delivers a strike, and the count 0-1 as the Generals have gone to the bench here.
Yeah, they go to Grant Swick, who will be pinch hitting. She plays first in designated hitter.
Swing and a miss, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. But again, what a day by C.J. Burdak.
Yeah, I mean, just a terrific day on the mound. Really, up to that 6th inning, he's dominated the Generals, kept them off the bases. He did everything well, induced weak contact, strikeouts, stemming the momentum for his team and letting them get runs up on the board. And really, that's all you can ask if you're manager Adam Enright is all those things. And he had them all combined throughout 6 innings of work.
Burness, the lefty, back for his 2nd season with the Oilmen. Here's the 0-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball to the right side. This is backhanded by Zarnacki. He knocks it down, he takes it himself, and steps on the first base cushion for out number 1. 3 unassisted, the putout goes. Swick is gone as he batted for the first time today. And now Georgie Vasquez will be due next.
Yeah, and they would love to get some more traffic on the bases. So you felt like they had a big opportunity to get a bigger inning. Although they grabbed 2 runs, not many at-bats left.
Here's a crack to left. That's going to be a base hit. Base hit off the bat of Vasquez. First pitch he saw. And there is 1 on with 1 away for the top of the order, Adam.
Yeah, Vasquez has really hit a couple balls well in this one. And there's another hit for him. His 2nd one of the day. He's also scored. Now let's see if they can move back to the top of the lineup, which is where that rally stemmed from in the 6th inning. You feel like between these 2 teams, no matter how lopsided it looks, somehow the game is going to come down to the final out.
A lot of close games across the entire league this year. Check swing, and yes, he did, says Ryan Verver, the base umpire. Count no balls and a strike on Munoz. For Burness, fastball slider change comprises the repertoire. He's not afraid to lead with the slider or change. First pitch in a plate appearance, the 0-1. It's grounded foul. It's in St. Leo out in the state of Florida. Lefty pitched a little bit with the Oilmen last season. And this year, Burness, a 1735 earned run average, trying to get things on track a little bit. His only decision a loss, just 4 2/3 innings of work, so it's a small sample size. But he's allowed 9 earned runs on 7 hits while walking 9. This is low and in for a ball, and a dirt ball read advancing to second safely is going to be Vasquez. This goes as a wild pitch as he moves up 90 feet.
Now the Generals just looking to chip away at this lead, and once again, we're seeing that the Oilmen have put up zeros in the last 3 innings, which we saw from the Generals, and that allowed the Oilmen past games to get into it, and now we're seeing the Generals flip the script here today.
1-2 swinging a tapper foul. And we talked about it earlier, Adam. The Oilmen doing damage early, but now in the middle part of the game, as so often has been a trend, the General pitching has kind of recovered, and the Oilmen have not scored in the last 3 innings.
And that's usually the sign of a team near 500 is they've had really good streaks, but at the same time they haven't been consistent.
Here's the 1-2. This is swinging a line drive to left center. This is going to get down for a base hit. Round third, Vasquez. He's going to score. The throw will go to second base. Holding it first, the big turnaround first, is the batter Munoz. Throw gets away as it comes in, but Munoz will retreat back to first. RBI single for Diego Munoz. It's his 13th run batted into the season. His first hit of the day makes it a 6-3 game here in the 7th.
You can already see with Burdak out, these hitters are more confident as they're with 2 strikes or getting pitches to hit versus Burdak, who's really tough with 2 strikes. You can see some harder hit balls. We didn't see that hard hit of balls except the last inning.
Here's a smash to short, caught by Zebig. The throw to first, double play. It's a line drive double play for Diego Biggers, and the inning ends. Biggers hit it on a line to short. Zebig collected it. 6-3 on the DP, and the side is retired. Munoz doubled off first base. 1 run, 2 hits, nobody left. It's time to stretch at the OC. Oilmen 6, Generals 3 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
We don't go to the office, we build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce. as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an iron worker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
Back at Oil City Stadium, where there's a new pitcher on the mound. Right-hander Aiden Green takes over to pitch for the Joliet Generals as he will work this bottom of the 7th inning. They've stretched out here at the OC. Generals settle for 1 run at the top of this inning, but in the last 2 frames, the Generals have sliced what was a 6-run Oilmen lead in half. It's now 6-3, and we have another change. Alex Vertuno is going to come in and catch, so Biggers is gone. They also made a change in the last half inning with Swick coming in, and does he remain in the game then in left, I would maybe guess, after he came in for Stote in the last half inning.
Yeah, Swick looks like he's in left field, so Aiden Green takes the mound. Alex Vertuno, the younger brother of Aaron Vertuno, is behind the plate, so now he's caught this year, pitched the ball this year, and has also played first base. And his a designated hitter as well. He's been all over the place. We see how this new combination works for the Generals. So that could have been a big inning there. As now the hits are 8-7 Oilmen, just like that. However, it's still a 3-run game.
Yeah, the Generals really had the wind taken out of their sails by that line drive double play. Nice job by Z-Big to collect that line drive. And then really in that situation, not a whole lot Munoz, the runner, could do about that as he's doubled off first. First pitch here is low for ball 1. Z-Big batting after he made that play to end the last half inning. You can close the book on Janes. He goes 2 innings, allows just 1 hit, shutout ball, struck out 2, walked none. The 1-0 here is swung on and popped up shallow left. Out is the left fielder, out is Munoz, and the shortstop is going to be the one to glove this in fairly deep left field, and that is out number 1.
Yeah, no kidding. That was near where Swick was standing there, but Munoz made that, tough play look so routine, backpedaling, and had a good eye on the ball the entire way. And they would love nothing more than a 1-2-3 inning. See if they can put more traffic on the bases, but you don't know if their offense got started early enough after 5 zeros that Burdak put up. And now you only have 6 more outs to play with, and the Oilmen still have a chance to tack on more.
First pitch strike here. Normally when it's to the shortstop, it's P6, but I wrote that one down as F6, as ranging out into left field was Munoz to make that catch. No balls and a strike. The count on Clark with 1 out and the bases clear. Swing and a tap foul, and the count now 0-2. The Oilmen 4-2 against the Generals this season. Last year they were 3-3-1 in the regular season series, and I will never forget the 1. No balls and 2 strikes here on Clark. Here's the pitch from Green, swinging a smash foul out of play, and the count is 0-2. It was the final game between the two in the regular season. I believe it was the second to last day of the regular season, a Friday night. Both teams played someone else on the Saturday, and the Generals were nipping at the heels of the Oilmen for the regular season title and the top spot going into the postseason. Here's the 0-2, swinging a ground ball to the right side, deep in the hole at second. This is Jacob to field it and throw to first in time. 4-3, the putout goes for the second out of the 7th inning. 2 up and 2 down. Zarnacki due next. 6-3 in favor of the Oilmen. Last of inning number 7. But it was a big game. This was a really hyped game, Adam, on a Friday night. Good crowd on hand at Oil City Stadium. It was a nice night for the most part. A battle between the Oilmen and the Generals, the regular season title hanging in the balance. If the Oilmen won, they clinched the top seed going into the Midwest Collegiate League playoffs a year ago. Here's the first pitch on the way to Zarnacki. It's taken inside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. The Generals scored 2 in the top of the 9th to take a 2-run lead over the Oilmen, snapping a tie. Then in the bottom of the ninth inning, the Oilmen scored twice. They had the bases loaded with one away. Here comes the 1-0, low for a ball. They count 2 balls and no strikes. And it had been raining throughout the bottom of the ninth inning. Some rain came late in the game. And at this point, it was a deluge. And the umpires had no choice but to call for a stoppage in play. Here comes the 2-0 to Zarnacki. This is outside for a ball. And at that point, the field was not going to recover on that Friday evening. And the game ended in a tie. And that allowed the Oilmen to clinch the regular season title. The Generals would have needed to beat the Oilmen that night and win the next night and have the Oilmen lose, I believe, the next night for them to win the regular season title. Here's the 3-0. This is inside. Look out. Nipped by this one is Zarnacki. This goes as a hit by pitch. He's on base for the 3rd time today, and that'll bring up Curcio. But it was fitting. It was such a tight regular season series, each team winning 3 games. And then you get the 7th meeting, the one that the regular season series hinges on, and it goes down as a tie with the rain coming late in the game.
Yeah, and usually you hear the scenarios in like the NFL playoffs every year. It's like, win, lose, or tie. And everyone's like, a tie will never happen. It will not happen. But, here, last season, it happened between these teams, and that's what the Oilmen needed to get that number 1 seed.
Tom Curcio smashes one to first, and it's caught by the first baseman, Vertuno. The inning ends. No runs, no hits, 1 left for the Oilmen in the 7th. On to the 8th, 6-3 Oilmen on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Beach is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well-mouthed desert, meet ice-cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. Let's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home. The ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track. Help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
Nick Hyden is in as he will pitch the 8th inning with the Oilmen leading Joliet by a 6-3 score. The Oilmen are out hitting the Generals 8-7. Full line score looks like this: 6 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Oilmen, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for Joliet as we get set to take it to inning number 8. Burness goes just the 1 inning. He allows a run on 2 hits. The hot smash line drive double play helps him out of that inning and limiting the damage to 1 run for the Generals in the 7th. Joliet, though, has been surging here, Adam, as they have turned a 6-run game into a 3-run contest as we get set for the 8th.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're happy about that, but at the same time, they had opportunity to tack on runs. Had some fortunate play happen in the top of the 7th and got thrown out home in the top of the 6th. And now they only have 6 outs to work with. And they're going to need some traffic on the bases, although, you assume once C.J. Burdak got out that they would be able to get more runners on just because, no one really could have pitched a better first 5 innings than he did, allowing almost no runners on the bases and inducing weak contact.
I think 1 big inning has been a theme against the Joliet Generals. It occurred in a 9-1 loss to Lake County the other night, and the 1 big inning hurting Joliet again today as they allow 4 in the first, and it's been hard to recover from that.
Yeah, and actually talking to Joe Silva yesterday, he said it's sort of been that 1 big inning for us, and it's very hard to come back from, especially, those 4 or 5 run innings when there's a lot of really good pitchers, and if they're not walking batters, you're forced to put a huge string of hits together, which doesn't always happen.
Bryce Vincent swings and lifts this in the air. Shallow right. Out is the second baseman Marshall. In is the right fielder Curcio. It's Curcio to glove it for the first out as Vincent is retired.
Yeah, it's not the bat you want to start off the top of the 8th. Obviously, Vincent saw something he liked, but, sort of a pop-up is, an easy out usually for the fielders. And it's a big first out for the Oilmen because the Generals in the last couple of innings have had runners on bases all around.
Rose swings and grounds this one through the right side, base hit right field. It's a single into right with one away in the 8th, and that'll bring up Small.
Yeah, and we've seen some contact. That was sort of a weakly hit ball, but still hit harder, way harder than the stuff we saw earlier. There's been less pop-ups, more stuff on the ground, more line drives. Even the line drive lasting that turned to a double play. It was a good hit ball, well-hit ball. And you really can't fault the hitter for, lining into a double play. As Biggers really put a good swing on it as well.
1 out, 1 on. First pitch here, swing and a miss. Each team with 8 hits now.
And talking about being aggressive early, we've seen the first 3 batters here swing at the first pitch and seen a fly out, a single, and now a swing and a miss off those first 3 pitches.
0-1 on Small. Here's the pitch to him, taken outside for a ball, 1-1. 6-3, the Oilmen lead. There's a chance we could see Hayden try to nail down a 6-out save in this ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Brady Small. Swings in, smashes this one to second, caught by Marshall, throw to first, another line drive double play. 4-3 on the twin killing. A pair of line drives end the 7th and 8th innings on hot smashes off the bat of General players, and the inning ends. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left for Joliet in the 8th. After 7.5, it remains Oilmen 6, Joliet 3 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
When you hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me hear Lando Frost. Premium meat, delicious, and no byproducts.
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
Back here at Oil City Stadium as we take it to the last of the 8th, 6-3 in favor of the Oilmen. We'll take a look at some of this date in Oilmen history here in the bottom of this 8th inning. It was on this date in 2017 against the Bloomington Bobcats that Nate Thomas tied an Oilman record. He struck out 11 at that time. That has since been surpassed on a few occasions, and most recently the record now belongs to Oilman pitcher Matt Lolito, as he had a huge game on the mound, and he's had such a great year, and we'll see him pitch on Friday night against Lake County. Anyway, in 2017, Nate Thomas recorded 11 strikeouts against the Bobcats, and the Oilmen winning a pitcher's duel that day by a score of 2-0. 8-9-1 for the Oilmen here in this 8th. Here's the first pitch of the inning. It's taken for a strike in the count 0-1. On this date in 2018, Nate Montgomery hit a go-ahead 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs to help lift the Oilmen from down 2 to a 1-run win over the Crestwood Panthers. 1 ball, 1 strike now. So pitch misses the zone. Count evens out on Cabeza. Here's the set from Green and the 1-1, and it's behind him, and it's 2-1.
And this bullpen has done quite a good job of giving their offense a chance. They've gone 3 scoreless so far, allowing just 1 hit and 0 walks, which has really been a rarity, especially from the bullpen. They've done a good job leaving runners off the bases with free passes.
2-1, ball inside. Did he go? Emphatic appeal, and no swing, says Ryan Verver, the first base umpire. Count 3-1. Again, each team with 8 hits, but the Oilmen lead the column that counts by a 6-3 score. 3-1 on the way from Green to Cabeza. Here's the wind and the 3-1 offering. Swing and a miss. We go full at 3-2. But it was on this date in 2018 that we mentioned that Nate Montgomery home run. Montgomery had the unique distinction, Adam, of being not only on the ball club, but he was also an intern with the Oilmen, the player/intern combo. He's around the office all summer long. Here's the payoff pitch, swinging a tapper foul. We'll do it again at 3-2.
That's quite the interesting combination, but certainly if you're interested in talking about the game and playing the game, I mean, that sounds like a pretty great time.
Yeah, and he had the desire to work in sports or gain some experience working in sports, and so he did a lot of sales. He was very successful in sales with the Oilmen. Here's the 3-2. It's a tapper to the left side, charging in Munoz. He makes a running throw to first. It's in time, and that is out number 1. Cabeza is the first out here in the 8th inning.
Aiden Green's looked sharp so far. He's coming in with a 17.35 ERA, but a lot of that's due to his first 2 appearances. But since then, he's given up 2 earned runs in 4 innings of action, 4 1/3 now. And has been throwing strikes, which is really just the most important part of being a pitcher, especially in the Northern League.
Cannon stands in and looks at a strike, and the count 0-1. 6-3 Oilmen here in the bottom of inning number 8 at Oil City Stadium. One more on this date. We'll get to that in just a moment. Here's the 0-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. The count 0-2. On this date in 2021, a year ago, Leo and David, who are with us as well, will remember this one. The Oilmen were in a stretch of 7 consecutive days without a game due to rain each and every day. It was rain out after rain out at this time last season. Here's the 0-1. This is lifted in the air, foul, and look out on the concourse. Everybody's okay, or in the seating area, I should say. The count remains 0-2. But it was just a lot of rain at this time last season where we had a hard time getting any ball games in. And thankfully this year we've had very good weather to this point.
Yeah, it was really just the beginning of the season once we were looking to get started, but since then, not a ton of rain at all throughout, Illinois and Northwest Indiana.
Here's a 2-strike pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Running it out down to first is Cannon, and the out-made official on the 2-3 putout after the strikeout for the second out of the 8th inning.
We saw it last week with Aaron Vertuno on the mound. Alex Vertuno started a double play at first base, and there we see the first Vertuno to Vertuno combo as a drop third strike, so Alex goes to Aaron. And that's an exciting one for the Vertuno family.
Yeah, very good. Always fun to see brother combos in the league. 2 outs and the base is clear. Family members. Here's a swing and a ball lifted in the air towards center, and gliding underneath it with a long run is the center fielder Toronis, and he makes the catch, and the inning ends. 1-2-3 go the Oilmen in the 8th. I know you won't go anywhere as we take it to the 9th. Oilmen 6 and the Generals 3 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
I am a success. I am the future.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted and bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Back at Oil City Stadium, let's run it down. We go to the 9th inning. The Oilmen trying to hold on to a 6-3 lead and improve their record to 14-12. The Generals trying to avoid seeing their record slip to 10-13 on the season. These starting pitchers are the pitchers of record here today. C.J. Burdak in line for a deserved victory, and Evan Ryan is on the hook for the loss. It's been good bullpen work for Joliet as the Oilmen have not scored since the 3rd inning. But right now, the Oilmen are 3 outs away from a victory, and Nick Hayden is trying to nail down the save as he's back out for his second inning of work.
And it would be huge for the Generals to get a leadoff runner aboard, although that's sometimes led to lining out in double plays the past couple of innings. But you have to get runners on to start a rally. It's not all going to come in one swing.
First pitch to Vertuno, swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Aaron Vertuno batting with a count of no balls and 1 strike. It is the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Joliet in this 9th inning. Each team with 8 hits. The Oilmen lead 6-3. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and lifted foul off to the right and out of play. Now it's 0-2.
The Generals were very successful against some of the Oilmen relievers because they were able to get good pitches in the zone, and they didn't really fall behind. So now Vertuno trying to get out of a 0-2 hole here and find something to hit.
Here's the 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as 3 pitches leads to the strikeout for Hayden, and there's 1 away here in the 9th.
Yeah, and that 0-2 pitch was sort of an elevated fastball, which he got him on the first pitch. So a good, read by Hayden there to go back to that elevated fastball, change the level of the hitter, and on 0-2, it's tough to lay off with a pitch that close to the zone.
Now it's Christian Jacob with 1 out and the bases clear. That first out always big in the 9th. There's a swing and a miss, a tip into the mitt of Cabeza, and the count 0-1.
And a big play in the top of the 6th inning was that Christian Jacob ground ball. Looked like it could have got through out the middle, but Z-Big cut off and tossed it to second for the force. And that could have plated 2 runs.
Swing and a miss by Jacob, and the count 0-2. 1 out and the bases clear. 6-3 Oilmen. And the 2 line drives that Adam talked about, crucial in this game as they turned into double plays. Here's the 2-strike pitch. This is swinging a foul. It's just a bad break if you're the Generals.
Yeah, certainly, but obviously when you go the first 5 innings without scoring, it puts your offense and pitching staff in a tough situation. Your offense has to score, a bunch of runs throughout the next inning, and your bullpen has to be perfect, which they have been, but they haven't got the runs to quite get back in this, although down only 3.
Here's a 2-strike pitch. This is swung on and lifted in the air off the end of the bat down the right field line. This is going to land foul, untouched. It remains no balls and 2 strikes on Jacob.
But you leave yourself a deep hole, especially if you go down early 6-0 with a good starter. And if they go more than half the game, that limits your opportunities to score. And with Burdak going 6 innings, he was just really dominant for the Oilmen and held the Generals' offense in check for probably just long enough. But we shall see in the top of this 9th inning.
2 strikes on Jacob. He's 0 for 3. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Swinging a foul. He able to get a piece and stays alive. The Oilmen will host the Chicago American Giants tomorrow night. Leo and I will have it for you. Our pregame show begins at 7. The first pitch at 7:10. I'll be with Andrew Mild on Friday night as the Oilmen welcome in the Lake County Corn Dogs on Military Appreciation Night here at Oil City Stadium. Here's the 2-strike pitch. This is swung on and cued to the right side, base hit through the hole. It's a single poked into right off the bat of Jacob for his first hit of the day. Now with 1 away, that'll allow Swick to stand in with 1 out, 1 on.
The Generals have had, an opportunity before with a runner on first, and boy, would it be crazy if it would end in 3 line-out double plays. It's really, it rarely happens, once in a game, but seeing it twice.
Right, in both the 7th and 8th innings. Late innings, close games, hot smashes, 1 to short, 1 to second, that turned into twin killings. This one swung on and lifted foul off to the right out of play, and it's 0-1.
It was also a good job by Jacob in his last at-bat, battling some tough pitches. Still got a tough pitch to hit, but was able to, control it more and poke it into right field. And a lot of the Generals' outs have been easy pop-ups, so when they've hit stuff on the ground, it has found holes most of the time in the infield.
0-1 on Swick, and now time called as Swick backs away. So Giants will be in tomorrow, and then the first-place Corn Dogs on Friday. And then the Oilmen have the Giants on Saturday and Tuesday. 3 games upcoming against the league's worst team. So that'll be an opportunity to make up ground in the standings if you can take care of business in those games.
The Generals played the Giants last week and ended up being a really close game. The Generals are just able to hang on.
0-1 here, swung on and lifted in the air, foul and out of play, and the count 0-2.
Generals have had a very interesting season up to this point with the offense being hot, the pitching staff being good. Both have struggled quite a bit as well. And really, that's they've had a lot of win-loss on their schedule. Feels like it's been like that for a couple weeks, and they finally got their second win in a row for the first time since late May last week.
Oh, no balls and 2 strikes on Swick. Here's the 2-strike pitch, high for a ball. Oilmen trying to snap a brief 2-game skid. They fell to Southland on both Monday and Tuesday after beating those Vikings on Friday night in the previous game. Saturday was a rain out and Sunday an off day. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is out number 2. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Hayden, and now the Generals are down to their final out with a runner on and 2 down, and the ball game resting on the shoulders of Georgie Vasquez.
And that's something Swick's really struggled with, is chasing pitches out of the zone. His 28 at-bats coming into this one. He struck out in 12 of the at-bats. And now down to the last out, but Vasquez has been good today.
Here's the first pitch to him, swinging a ground ball toward third, picked up by Famakanen. His throw to first is in time, able to stay on the bag is Zarnacki, and that's the way this one comes to a close. The Oilmen beat the Joliet Generals by a 6-3 score in a game that was speedy as it required just 2 hours and 6 minutes to complete, and the Oilmen hold on to an early 6-run lead. Joliet a late push, but the Oilmen win the game by a 6-3 score here tonight at Oil City Stadium. The Oilmen back on track, and they're back up to 2 above 500 as they win this game here tonight, and they will again take on the Giants tomorrow night. We'll go on the air at 7:10, and I will talk to you then. But please stay tuned. Post-game coming up. Thanks everybody involved with our broadcast. David Bork, Leo Staudaher, and job well done. Appreciate their work as always. And the ever-talented Leo Staudaher will have the post-game show for you, and that comes up in just a moment. For Adam Oppenheim, Brandon Vickery saying, I hope you enjoyed. Once again, the final, Oilmen 6, Generals 3. Leo's postgame show is next on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Don't go to the office. We build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an iron worker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
Leo Staudaher with you here for the post-game show as the Oilmen take down the Joliet Generals by a score of 6-3. We're here wrapping things up at Oil City Stadium. The Oilmen snap their 2-game skid, get back in the win column, will increase their record on the season to 14-12. CJ Burdak picks up the win this evening for the Oilmen, and Evan Ryan picks up the loss for the Generals. Going down the line, it was 6-8-2 for NWI and 3-9-1 for Joliet. The close hit margin, the Generals actually out hitting the Oilmen in this one, but it was a back-and-forth game as we saw the Oilmen get on the board first. 2 big innings in the first 2 frames, 4 in the first, then a pair of solo tallies in the second and third, and that was all she would write for the Oilmen offense. They would go a little dormant after that. Joliet would sneak their way back into it, putting up a 2 pair of runs in the 6th inning and a solo tally in the 7th. The Oilmen were eventually able to settle down and get that big 2-out save from Nick Hayden, who's settling in to be one of the top relievers out of the pen for the Oilmen. CJ Burdak with the win, 6 innings, 5 hits allowed, 2 runs, none of them earned, though, just 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. The 1 walk was huge for him. The fact that he's a pitcher that just finished his high school career and is just pitching very well against college hitters, 4 Ks on the evening for him. Offensively, it was a group effort, but Kyle Zarnacki led the way for the Oilmen with 2 runs scored, a hit, 2 RBI. He had a big 2 RBI single, and then he also walked later this evening, scored 2 runs. Kyle Radcliffe picked up a hit and a run in his Oilman debut. David Marshall knocked in a hit. Jason Hodges had an RBI, a run scored, and a hit as well. So lots of Oilmen picking up 8 hits, but it's going throughout the order. Only 2 players did not record a hit for the club. They will look to keep the winning ways going tomorrow night when they take on the Chicago American Giants. Same time, same place, 7:10. Pregame coming up at 7 o'clock here at Oil City Stadium. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, we'll have the call on all of the regular platforms of the Oilman Broadcasting Network. Until then, that's all.